just at AU, but leading by example for your kids for that, like I know for me, I do my best. Sometimes I mess up and it's going to be the same way at work. There's going to be times where you're going to make the wrong decision and you have to learn from it. It's the same thing when you're not at work. You have to learn from it. Sometimes my biggest fails have been my biggest successes. So I'll tell you guys a story. I was a sales manager, and my store that I had, when I started, the store was at the very bottom in sales in the entire company. At the time I worked for Sears Optical, and Sears is owned by Luxottica. And Luxottica is the largest optical company in the world. They own the entire market, basically. They own Sunglass Hut, Ray-Ban, Oakley. They own Lens Crafters, Pearl Vision, Sears Optical, Target Optical. They own the world. They also own the rights to all of the major name brands like Coach, Ralph Lauren, all of those big ones, right? So Sears, you think, Sears is kind of like your old grandma, grandpa brand, but Sears was the only profitable brand Luxottica had when I started with them, which is crazy, right? Yeah. Like you would think Ray-Ban would have been their most profitable. It was Sears Optical. So you have a lot of people who see Oakley and think, I need to be paid Oakley money. Or it's Oakley. We have a lot of people that come in and shop. We need to overstaff. So you have a lot of staffing. You have a lot of theft, those kind of things. But at Sears, you only have 1 or 2 employees in your team, and you guys run the show. So you could do, $15,000 in sales in 1 week, and your average sale is only $200. Think about how many customers that is. It's a lot. You're looking at like 140 customers in a month, in a week. It just depends on how good you do. So anyway, I come in, there's 600 stores, I'm at 600. I take this store, my boss says to me, you got 90 days to turn the store around or I'm gonna find somebody else to do it. And I was like, what? How do I do that? I'm not even from this place. So I had to get really creative and start making relationships and putting myself out there and networking and doing all of these things to make sure that I brought notoriety back into the store, because there was a reason why the store failed to begin with. My mistakes were the people I hired. They were not the right people. I couldn't change them. I wasn't, I was younger than them. They didn't look at me like a leader. They looked at me as some kid, like, who are you going to tell me what to do? But what I learned was in that 90-day stretch that just by myself, I was able to bring that store to about the 300 level by myself. I didn't need their help. I did it by myself. But what I learned was I cannot succeed if I don't have the right team, and when my staff started seeing how much work I was putting into it, they wanted to work hard for me. They were like, oh, well, man, she's busting her tail. She's upselling. She's giving herself all that product knowledge to make sure that when your customer comes in here, you can educate them. Nobody's going to buy product from you if you don't know what it is. So if a new patient calls here and says to you, I need to make an appointment, I had a stroke. And if you're like, cool, let's put you on our urology schedule. You don't know the product. You're not servicing that person to the right place. But if a patient comes in and says, I have bladder pain, we can put that on the schedule. And we know how to give them the first available appointment. We know some of the things that associate to bladder pain. UTI, do they have mesh? Are they a female? There's so many different things that you guys know, but your reps don't. There's a lot that your reps do not know because I'm seeing it in the schedule. What's actually a stent removal? Their product knowledge is very low. So it's our job to make sure that they know their products, because you guys can't sail your ships by yourself, you know, and your teams have to reflect what you know and your leadership style. You know, they have to also hold themselves accountable. They should have that feeling that when they mess up, they messed up on Javier. They messed up for Kayla. And they come to you and say, I'm so sorry this happened. You know, they're not upset for themselves, they're upset for you. That's where you want to take this. Because if, hi,
I'm sorry to interrupt. Those furniture, whiteboard, clearboard people are here. They have more chairs. Apparently they're changing out chairs in your office and Lindsay's office.
okay.
And they also have another whiteboard. I have no idea where it goes.
How big?
I think it's the same size as the others, like the ones that are in our offices now. Because the two hotel
You'd
offices
have to call
don't.
Lindsay. I don't know. I didn't know anything
I was
about
trying
that.
not to
She
bug
knows
her.
about it.
Okay, I'll call her. I was
Yeah.
trying not to bug her. Okay, thank you. Sorry.
She's working today. She's not a PT. So if you lead by example, your people are going to work hard for you. But
That's
if you're
true.
not on the phones and you're not working and they're not seeing you working, they're not going to either.
That's very true.
Mhm.
It happens everywhere, not just
Absolutely,
work,
yeah.
anywhere you go.
Mhm.
My family is the same. I mean, I tell my son, look, you're gonna grow up, you're gonna be a parent someday. You need to take care of your house. He cannot say that he never saw me doing that. He can never say that he never saw me washing dishes, doing landscaping, and doing all that needs to be done around the house. So he stays quiet when I tell him. You lead by example.
Yeah.
I can't say do this if I don't do it.
If you don't do it, yeah.
He never seen me taste alcohol. He never will. So
Yeah.
he stays quiet. Like I had a neighbor that for some reason when they buy beer, they throw all those beer cans in our trash can. All the time. And he saw him and was like, why do we have a whole bunch of, beer cans in our trash? Because he knows I don't
Weird.
drink.
No, that's what I was just thinking.
Like, why would they do that?
I don't know. I lead by example saying, I don't do it.
Yeah,
So when he saw that, he's like, I know you don't do this. What's going on in our house now?
yeah.
Like, it's not us. That's the neighbor. And just our daughter. I mean, she cannot say that my wife is a certain type of way. She can never say that.
No.
We
because-
lead by
yeah.
example. We have to.
Yeah.
So this is actually something for life, not just for AU. We learn.
But you guys have to know that you can make mistakes.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know, and you're not always going to be right. You're not always going to make the right decision. You know, even myself, I'm constantly like, is this the right choice? Do I do this? Do I talk to that person? Do I leave it alone? Should I just let it ride out? You know, those are the types of things that you have to constantly kind of fight with yourself, you know? Am I too heavy on this person? You know, am I too light on this person? So those are the types of things that you guys should be discussing with each other. You know, hey, Kayla, what do you think I should do in this case? Hey, Javier, have you ever been through this situation before? You know, come to me. You know, don't think that for a minute my door is not open. I would much rather you guys go to each other if you don't feel comfortable coming to me. But you know, if you're going to go to other people in leadership, make sure that their expectations are the same as ours. You know, make sure that their approach is the same as ours. Because you're not always going to get great information, you know, and that's from all walks of life. Align your team. Creating and communicating a vision for the team. What is it that you want? What is your goal? What do you want to see your team do? One of the things that I want to see my group of team leads do is make their team successful. You know, what are some of the ways that we can make these people in this building successful today? You know, what are you doing today to make sure that your reps have everything they need, that they feel confident, that they're happy. You know, if they're making scheduling errors, what are you doing about it? You know, are you communicating with them what you want from them? Are you communicating with them what you want for yourself? You know, if you're just constantly if I'm constantly telling Javier, do, and not asking for his feedback, how am I supposed to know what he does? You know, I constantly ask him, like, what's going on out there? What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What do you think about this person? Do you think I'm making the right choices? I mean, I'm very comfortable asking those types of questions. I'm not always right. But you guys have to create that vision for yourself and for your team. And then your team members will start opening up to you like, I'm going to college, you know, I want to be a chef. I want to be this, I want to be that. They're not going to tell you this if they don't know that you have goals. You know, if you don't have goals, they're not going to share it with you, you know. And if they are, like, they could be cooking for us.
Hey, you never know.
Find those chefs out there, people. I love food.
Yeah.
Establishing SMART goals for the team. And when I read through this article, this was in bold capital letters and underlined. And really why this stands out to me is because you cannot give people goals that are unobtainable. Mm-hmm. Like Kayla.
But they obtained it.
But they did it, so it's just crazy. But, you know, I always say 10%, 10 points, 10s. Always do 10s. If you're like, you need to bring your 50% goal to 90% tomorrow, they're never going to get there, and they're never going to feel like they've accomplished anything. They're going to feel like failures. Yeah. So giving them goals that they can make and consistently increasing those goals, you
Things
know.
that they have control of too.
Right, exactly. Things that
Like
they have control
I
of.
set a goal yesterday for them to get 10 new appointments, not knowing like that's not in their control.
Yeah.
Technically, because you don't know how many patients, but they did it. They did 12
Yep.
new
There you go.
patients. Today, our goal is 12. I'm
Yep.
gonna just increase by 2, and I'm gonna try to look at call volume each week. I would like 10 more calls a week than the previous.
Yep. You'd be surprised, you guys have listened to some pretty good calls. And you'd be surprised at how many times we're letting go new patients. I mean, it's a lot. So putting in these new patient goals is phenomenal. You know, really encouraging our reps to close the call, to let our patients know that we know our business, that your reps know addresses. They know who our providers are.
And please don't tell the patient you've never been there.
Well, yeah.
You know, but this has a lot to do with
Understanding.
no. Where are you?
Providing positive and constructive feedback constantly throughout your
I don't think it's on here. We need the right people, right? We need the right people. We sometimes don't, well, most times don't see, you never see the negatives when you're interviewing,
No,
ever. You see what they have on their resume. We hope that
that's true.
our recruiting team has called their references. You know, they've done their assessments. They're good to go. But we don't find out anybody's work ethic until they're actually here. But once they're here and they're not that good fit, trust me, they know. And it's really hard when you're not good at something. How do you let that go? You know, if you're not good at something, let's say you have to take a piano lesson, okay? And my requirement to you is that you better play Bach by 30 days in.
Yeah, that's gonna.
For Ellis.
Yeah, and that is the same thing that we're telling these people. You have to be successful in 30 days. We need you on these phones, no errors. It's not gonna happen. But who are those people who have the least amount of errors? Who are those people who give great customer experience
And actually try and implement
and
when
try
we give
to
them
improve?
feedback.
Yeah.
It's hard when we give people feedback, I feel like, and they don't see anything wrong. They don't see any fault in them. And everybody has a fault, everybody makes
So
mistakes.
it's not that they don't see fault in it, Kayla. It becomes very defensive, and that's an age. When I was in my 20s and you told me I was doing something wrong, I mean, that was like my first, my first go-to was like, I don't do anything wrong,
Yeah.
you know?
It's a maturity.
It is a maturity
I
thing.
see it in older.
And that's okay. A lot of people don't have that same, like, I could have, I actually welcome it. Like, I want somebody to tell me, like, hey, Dayna, this, work on this. Because it lets me know, like, gosh, I've been doing something wrong for a while. I need to change my ways. But anyway, helping team members develop individual performance goals, and that'll come with this. Once they know what your goal is for them, they'll start opening up how they want to, develop their own goals. Do they want to be a team lead one day? Do they want to work in billing and they want to go to coding school?
I ask them anytime I speak with them one-on-one, what's your goal in the next 3 months? What's your goal in the next 6 months? Where do you want?
I
where
want
do
to
you
be
see
an MA.
yourself?
I love what they do. You never know if you don't ask. And that's when you start giving them those tools. Like, hey, we have this great program that if you go to school, we have tuition reimbursement here. If you want to be an ultrasound tech, we have tuition reimbursement, and most likely you will get a job here. Their career does not stop in the PSC. We actually want them to grow. We want other people to be like, wow, the PSC hires some really good people. We've had them come from, all over and do all different kinds of jobs. We want that to happen. Providing positive and constructive feedback consistently throughout your day. Now, in the article, it says consistently throughout your year. But here, unfortunately, we have to give feedback almost on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Soon, I would say maybe another month, maybe another 2 months, it won't be so much. I don't think we'll see so many errors. I don't think we'll see so much, insecurities on the floor. And you guys too. I mean, you all are new in your roles. You're not as confident as me. I've been in management for a really long time. You guys, how long have you been in management, Melinda?
A year and a half.
Year and a half. Kayla?
3, I don't know.
3 years? I don't know. Javier?
90 days.
See?
But mine's on and off. In my job that I had before that I was managed, I was not.
Not like this.
No. And it was not. It was pretty much. I said what I wanted to say. They do it. They don't. Nothing ever happens.
Yeah.
It was not structured.
Right. Right. So when you're in a place like this where we are performance managers, that's what we are. At a certain point, your feedback turns into coachings, and then your coachings turns into corrective actions, and then those corrective actions turn into terminations. So, that's the worst part of your job. It's the worst part of your job, and it's the most uncomfortable and awkward part of your job. But it has to happen. Because if it doesn't happen, what happens to you is that your team, it's your rep, it's my team lead, it's Lindsay's operations manager. See where I'm headed? Yeah. Building cohesion. Create a climate of open communication. So always have your door open. I know you guys don't have doors, but
Right, you get it.
But you get it. Always have your door open. If somebody comes to you, don't give them that look like I'm busy. If you are busy, just let them know, like, let's make some time together. Let's meet. Do you need to get off the floor? You guys should be doing temperature checks throughout your day. Hey, how you doing? Everything going okay? Can I do anything for you? Are you feeling good? What's going on? How are you doing? If you don't do those things, it will create a team of nonsense. She doesn't check on me. She doesn't like me. She doesn't care about me. I'm going to go to this person and I'm going to complain about my team lead. And then I'm going to complain about my ops manager because she's sometimesy. Sorry, just had to throw that one in. So create that climate for everybody that even if Javier's not on my team, I can still go to him. Kayla's in Gyn, but I still see Euro reps asking her for help. That's what we are. We're a team. So open that up. Let them know you're available to them. Let them know that you care. You know, so in the mornings, in this schedule I've made for y'all, I've made a schedule for an 8 to 5 team lead, okay? 8 o'clock, you get here. You've already gotten your coffee, you've already, done your business. Now you're on the floor. You're walking up to each one of your reps. How was your night? How are you doing? Do you need anything from me? Is your computer working? Perfect. Next rep. How's it going? Is your computer working? How are you doing today? How was your night? Perfect. That's when you're going to find out, I don't feel good. I have a stomach ache. I don't feel good. I have a headache. I'm not having a good day. I took medication and it's making me feel weird. This and that. I think I have to leave early today. That's when you're going to find out. Is in that first temperature check.
That's very true. I did it unconsciously, by mistake or whatever you want to call it. I was just walking the floor and I saw the ASC team. And I was just there standing and looking at them and talking. And I never knew, like, Jasmine was going to college, that she wants to get a PhD, that she has all these debts, and that she wants to get a new car. I never knew that about
Right.
her. And it just took like 5 minutes.
Yep.
Just to say, hi,
Temperature
hey,
check.
how are you?
Yeah.
How's the ASC team
Yeah.
doing?
How you doing? What's
Oh.
going on? Do you like it? How many did you schedule today?
Yeah.
Those kind of things. You need to do that with each one of your reps every day.
Right.
So 8 to 8:30, temperature checks. 8:30 to 8:45, we're going to do our daily huddle, but we're not going to do it in my office anymore. We're going to do it on the floor. We're going to meet right in the center here. And you all are going to tell me in a 15-minute span, what is your plan today? So if I've got scheduling audits to do, I got to work on my one-on-ones, I've got a PIP that I have to put in place, whatever it is that is going on in your day, I want everybody to know what your plans are. And for that 15 minutes that we're standing here at 8:30 every morning, that's when we're going to do, okay? So from 8:45 to 9, we can break. You guys kind of do what you need to do to get ready between 9 and 12. From 9 and 12, you're going to be on the phones. You're going to be coaching on the floor and working on whatever it was that we talked about during our huddle. But you're going to have your headsets on because I want the reps to start seeing you guys on the phones. I also want to start seeing a presence of your scheduling on our schedules. We have so many errors right now that we need to have people who really know how to schedule in putting their mark in there. From 12 to 1, take your lunch, work on a project, stay away from your desk. Go in the conference room, go in my office, come in here, work with Kayla, work with Melinda, work with a peer, and talk about what needs to get done for your day or what you're doing for the weekend. I don't care what it is, but I don't want you guys socializing with reps. I want you guys socializing with each other. From 12 to 1, that's your time. You can leave the building. But just like reps, we don't have reps go and socialize with outbound. I'm seeing a lot of that. So I don't want to see that anymore. I want to see you guys socializing with each other and getting off of the floor and giving yourself that time. Because I am notorious for this. I never leave this building. I almost feel like if I leave, something's going to happen, So always know that there's somebody here who is going to take over for you. And really what the issue is trust. Who do I trust to keep this place together when I'm gone? We have to trust each other to make those things happen, right? Understanding and valuing different personality types. Being in a call center, we're gonna have all different kinds of people. We're gonna have people from all different walks of life, ages, sex, sexual orientation. But we need to see the good in people, and we need to see their opportunities. And the opportunities is your baby. You have got to recognize when somebody has a weakness or a flaw, how can I help this person? What is it that they're struggling at that I can help them with? But they can't be told how to do that with you just telling them, hey, this is what you're supposed to be doing. That's not going to help them. You have to show them. You have to spend time with them. Hold on one second, you guys. Do you guys have any feedback about that? Different personality types? Have you had any?
I think knowing your, especially with feedback, knowing what you can say, what's gonna upset your rep.
Yeah.
You don't wanna make them feel like you're picking on them, but.
Like right now, Javier has a problem where when he approaches some reps, he gets the stink eye. Oh God, he's back, what does he want?
Why am I in trouble?
Why am I in trouble?
Yeah, that's
the
another
first
thing. I feel
response.
like it's not even every single one of my reps, when we call them in the office, they're like, oh my God. And I think that's everybody too. I don't want them to feel like that.
So are you guys telling them why you take them into the office?
Yeah.
So let's do this. I think it would be a great idea if you get together with your teams the day before you're taking them off the floor for their one-on-ones and remind them. And that's what the calendar invite is so important, because if you're just taking them off the floor with no warning, they feel like they've done something wrong. But if it's on their calendar, if they feel like it's been planned, they're not in trouble. Especially if I'm not on the calendar invite, they're like, okay, Dana's not gonna be there, I'm not in trouble. HR's not here, I'm not in trouble. Tell your people, if HR comes here and you're coming in the same room, something's going on. But if it's just you and me, you're good.
And even if there's a coaching, it's not that you're in trouble. We just wanna fix it. I don't want them to feel like.
So that's where I think these SBIs, I think the way that it was created, great idea. However, taking somebody off of the floor to deliver an SBI, I don't think we should do that anymore.
Yeah, I don't either, because I think they're getting the wrong idea, I'm getting wrote up. You're saying it's not a write-up, but that's what it looks like.
And everybody is seeing me leave the floor.
Yes.
So,
If it's a customer service issue, they need to be sent the call. They need to listen to the call. And you need to sit next to them, bring a chair over to their desk, sit next to them and say, hey, let's talk about this call. Have you listened to it yet? Okay. If they say no, okay, go ahead and put yourself in training. I'm gonna sit here, go ahead and listen to your call. And then as they're listening, they hang up and say, okay, this is your SBI. I need you to sign it. Let's go over some things. Be pleasant. Give me your pleasant voice. Give me your intro, let me hear it. Those are the types of ways that they are going to, who is that?
Office Plus is calling for a manager to talk about a merge account.
Call Julie. I hate calling them over there.
I know. Why are we calling them?
Merchandise account.
Oh. What were we talking about?
Oops, SBI is being
SBIs.
approachable.
So do everything on the floor. If it's a corrective action, that's when we take them off the floor. Okay? Their call evaluate, or their every other week evaluation, coordinator eval, one-on-one. How do you guys feel about doing those on the floor? Would you wanna do those
It's
on the floor?
fine, it's fine.
I would almost say bring them in this room, because
Yeah.
this room has windows. They don't feel so interrogated.
Yeah.
They're in front of everybody, it's a big room. My room can feel kind of, sticky, if you know what I mean. So why don't we start doing your one-on-ones in here? Even if you're in here, Javier, Kayla can still come in here with her rep. Kayla would sit here, you could sit in the back.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah.
As long as we're not like next to each other.
And
Right.
I feel like as long as it's not like a one-on-one that's like bad.
I mean, if you're gonna have a bad one-on-one,
This will be a write-up already.
yeah, you shouldn't be having a bad one-on-one. You know, those one-on-ones are not meant for that. One-on-ones are more talking about their call evaluations, how to fix it, how to get them to be 100%, because that's on you. You know, your rep's performance is your performance. These are some of the ways. Let's get your call guide out. These are the things that you missed. Concentrate on this. You know, when you guys do your one-on-ones, you should always have the call guide with you. That way you can reference it. Or tell them, bring your call guide with you, please. You know, those are great tools for you guys to talk to them about how to increase their evaluation score.
I brought my sheet in that we got and just showed them like, this is your area of this is what you're not hitting. This is your biggest area of opportunity. That's why you're getting this grade.
Okay.
Someone said yesterday that they don't follow the call guide because they feel they're gonna make a mistake. Like,
That's what
I'm
I
on a
hear.
call and I'm supposed to be reading the call guide, I'm gonna lose focus, and that's why you don't see me, actually reading it.
So they need to memorize it then.
That's what I told them.
That's
They
what
didn't
I
like
said.
that.
Between calls,
That's
reading.
like-
I mean, that's fine. And that's the thing, like, okay, you don't like it, but your
You're just gonna learn.
evaluation is
It's
based on
based
this.
on it.
And in a rolling 30, if you fail your evaluation, that's a corrective action. So I think it is. It's either a corrective action or an SBI. It's one of the two. But if you continue to do that, you lose your job through those evaluation calls. That's why that's called performance management. We're not trying to get you to lose your job. We're trying to get you to do it effectively. And those are some of the ways that, Lindsay and George created.
She needs you.
Clarifying and modeling team norms. Once you guys start putting in your routines, this will kind of play itself out. They'll know exactly when they have team training, when they have their one-on-ones. They're gonna know what time you get here and what time you leave. They're gonna know that at 12 o'clock you take your lunch. They're gonna know at 1 o'clock you take your lunch, and so on and so forth. We have to create routines like as if you do with your kids. It's the same concept. You don't want it to be chaos every day. What's happening? What am I doing? That's why the calendar is so important, that you guys start using it. And it not only that, but it tells me what you're doing. It shows me what you're doing.
Keep you accountable.
Yeah,
I
and
feel like if it's not wrote on the calendar, you're like, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow.
I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah.
But if
You
it's
get
wrote
busy.
down, you're like, okay,
I gotta do it.
today.
Yeah. Engage and cultivate. So recognizing and rewarding employees. So we do rep of the week every week, and that's with the whole inbound call center. I just gave Alexis her gift card, so
Yeah.
make sure you give her, I'm gonna do a shout out in a little bit.
Okay.
So it's not per team.
No, it's the
Per-
whole inbound team. But don't worry, I'm trying to get Guy in there, and I'm trying to put in some different parameters.
Can I do one just for myself, like for my team, like
No, just because then we have to do it for
Like
all the
all-star.
teams.
because I was gonna take care of
And- And then you have like 2 people who do great every week, and then you have one who's not doing great. and
She's
then you have
actually
another one.
today and yesterday did so good.
So most improved.
Oh,
Like,
see, there you go.
yeah.
Like, could we give them different categories? Like, most new patient schedule goes to you. Most improved goes to you. Like, can I give them little?
You can do that, I'm okay with it. The only thing is that we can't reward them with anything that involves money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm fine with that, just like,
So you can create.
They
a
are-
I've already
certificate.
done that.
they
Yeah.
have, they're very, very, like, every morning when I come in, did you pull a report yet? How many calls did I get? And like, today they were, Caroline's salty because she got 3 less calls than, and they're always, well, okay, I lost on that, but what else, okay, what else did I do?
Do you need me?
Got a question. There's a patient that needs to be seen tomorrow. There's a new patient block for Anisha Patel. She's asking me that in training, Marika told them we can delete a new patient block and turn it into a follow-up for an existing patient.
I never heard of
She actually has the notes from her training
that.
saying,
Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Have you ever
I
heard of
haven't
that?
heard. So she was about to do it, like, stop, what are you doing?
Mhm.
You cannot be deleting new patient blocks and making an existing follow-up.
No, that's where we make her.
We need to ask Jennifer.
We might add a block, maybe,
But not to delete.
but not delete it.
I'll
Maybe
just
that's
call
what
her.
she meant, but
Yeah, we call Jennifer and ask her really quick, cause nobody's ever told me that.
Yeah, I was in training with her, I remember that.
I didn't think we had the access to delete anything.
Especially not blocks, I thought that
Hey,
they had.
question. Do we have, if we have a new patient block, but a person wants to schedule a follow-up, are we able to delete that new patient block and put it as a follow-up? Yeah, okay, I didn't think so. No, that's all I needed to know.
Tell her why.
Because, in training, that's what they were told. That they could go ahead and if there's like a new patient block and there's not one for an existing patient, that they could delete that block and put it in. Yeah. Okay.
that's a no.
Yeah. Okay.
His laptop is so much better than mine.
He's got one of them.
Yeah. Okay.
I got,
Does he have to touch
Thank
screen
you.
one?
yeah.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it. Oh, I mean, I was present for the call anyway, but. Did you listen to it? Did you like? I couldn't believe it.
We're doing really
But there wasn't. There was nobody there. I was listening. Yeah.
Same.
I'll be right back, you guys. I'm gonna go check on Kenny.
They didn't. Yeah, no, but the whole, I've never been there, so I couldn't, to be honest, I've never been there, I can't really tell you. Or whatever she said. Like, what? But the funny thing is when she said that, I heard that, so I walked over, I'm like, what? And she's like, they want to know the address. And I'm like, it's right there, it's literally right in front of you. Alright, well, I'll let you go. We're doing this training and that got brought up and Dana's like, call her. Like, I've never heard of that. Yeah, that's what we thought. Okay. Alright. I'll talk to you later.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, bye.
Well, I've asked her, because I was going to lunch before Javier, so one of us would be on the floor. I wonder if she wants me to continue doing that. just all of us go at the same time.
Yeah, I think it's more just like,
Because I can definitely, I mean, I just thought that it would be
yeah,
better to have one here and one gone than to have everybody, you know, kind of off the floor. But I mean, for you, you go
yeah,
you go at noon?
no, I literally just go whenever, and I normally take like 10 minutes.
Okay. So you never really take your lunch then?
I don't ever leave the building.
Really?
I need to.
I don't when I bring my lunch, but lately I have been very lazy in the morning.
Just waiting on Javier, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yes,
Yeah, she said no.
So do you have any questions?
No, it's pretty self-explanatory. Now, you were saying you wanted as far as our day goes, we talked about the 8 and 8:30.
I'm gonna send you the schedule.
Okay.
I'll type it up and send it to you guys. But I think this will help you.
Oh, yeah, that, definitely.
Yeah.
All of this. Yeah.
I think the huddles that we have on the floor, I think that will also help the reps see like, oh, they're talking, what are they talking about, you know? And if we're like super positive and we're blah, 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 let's do this, you know, they're gonna get amped up, you know? I didn't finish this schedule, so from 1 to 5, you guys will be on the phones. Again, but at the end of your day, so everybody is here at 3:45. I know you're leaving at 3:45. At about 3:40, I want us all to do an evening huddle again. How was your day? What did you find? And we're gonna do it on the floor. Okay?
Very good.
So really the only time that we'll be in my office are for one-on-ones, or if I ask you to come in there, or if you guys have questions, something like that. But I want to get out of that room. I think that the reps are not seeing us together enough, and they're not trusting us. And if you don't have trust in a team, you're not gonna do well. You know, lessons learned, but we gotta change it now. So let's finish our engage and cultivate. So we were talking about recognizing and rewarding employees. So rewarding employees doesn't always have to be money. You know, it doesn't always have to be a gift card. It doesn't always have to be a half hour out from you know, out early. It can be other things like, I don't even know. Like we used to have captains, so where I used to work. So if you were consistently doing good work, you are now the captain of that certain KPI. So, you know, Brittany's the captain of average handle time, and she pumps up her team for average handle time. You know, who else is on this team?
You know, something that I've seen is a point system. For example, if I'm gonna give you a coffee maker, you need to get 5,000 points. Every time you do something, I can give you a 500, I can give you 1,000. Once you get to 5,000, here's your coffee maker. People love it. People
Coffee
love it.
maker? That's expensive.
No, I'm just saying, give you examples.
You just use that as
Oh.
I'm giving you examples. It could have been a coffee maker. I
Can
always
we do like disinfectant wipes? Here is toilet paper.
I always saw an iPad that I wanted, and I saw a trip to Hawaii. You needed like 500,000 points. I'd be like, for me to be there is like.
So can you cash in your points?
There was a vanilla card, a vanilla Visa card, that if you get a certain amount of points, you will get one. Those that you can buy from Kroger.
I mean, that's something that we can propose.
And people like it. They love it. I'm like, how many points do I have? Okay,
I
how
guess
do we
it's
get
kind
to
of,
5,000?
we had So Fun points. I'm assuming this is the same thing, and then you
Yeah,
have like
it's
a
a
catalog that you
rewarding
can shop
system.
off of.
Oh, wow.
with your So Fun points.
Yeah, and they will have a catalog by online, and they can see,
Yeah.
if you want this, you need this many points.
Yeah, we had that. I would think maybe by next year AU could do something like that. But I think they're so new right now and there's so
But
many.
even if we did that within our teams, like, okay, you get a soda, like, getting a soda from in there, like, they think that's like the coolest thing.
For them, it's like,
So, like, even little
Unreachable.
things, like, okay, I'll get you pizza if you get this many points. Like a personal pan pizza that's $5. They're like thinking, act like that's
You're right.
$500.
So we can put it together.
Like, if we just do little things
Mm-hmm.
like that, and I would say, like, maybe a gift card, if like a $15 gift card if you got 15,000 points. Like,
All right,
every
so-
every point.
We
would
have,
be
we
like-
have that idea, right? So during your day, from 12 to 1 is your time to be creative. Get together, get in this room, brainstorm. Make sure it's a positive brainstorming. No gossiping, no talking about your reps. Don't talk shit. Sit here and try to make this place better, you know? Make it where we can come up with great ideas coming from all of you guys, you know? And what is it that we can do that is great, you know?
can we play Monopoly?
Javier, you know the answer to that.
Have a parking space for employees.
Create and motivate, I like that. You know where Alex parks every day? That could actually be
Yeah,
employee of the month.
That's
park.
CEO parking.
That
The
would
one
be
that Alex
good.
gets,
I like
that's
that.
CEO parking, yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna be mad.
Sorry, Alex, for taking your parking spot away. Create and motivate an environment for each team member. So you're gonna have team members who shine. Not everybody's a Brittany, okay? Not everybody is Alexis. So every team member has to be celebrated for something. Customer service, punctuality, time and attendance, cleanliness, best decorated desk. Come up with something that someone is good at and reward them for it. They need to feel good. They need to feel good being here. They need to feel like they have been celebrated for something.
Can we do like once, like every 6 months or once every like quarter, do like a spirit week
Yeah.
where we do like
Again, come up with your ideas.
What do you call,
And send them to me.
what do you call
Yeah.
flags? We used to call them flags or like this.
I know our flag idea, it got,
You don't like
it
those?
got busted. They say no.
Okay. So next.
Guidons. The guidons.
Well, we will do those for outstanding rep of the week. You will get the golden flag, and they will put it on their desk. So everyone saw who was the best that week. Everybody was like, I want that flag on my
with
desk.
trophies, like they'll have one of those.
Oh,
kinda
yeah, like
you
a
put it-
trophy
you
and
the-
you get
get
the-
it this week,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
and
Yep, we can do that too. Are you talking about flags when you need somebody? Like emergency flag?
That's another one.
Yeah, that's
So
what I
I
wanted.
told you about it.
Yeah.
You know, whoever knows CPR, whoever knows first aid, whatever. You know when you see that red
I mean, our whole
sticker,
medical team should be CPR certified.
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah.
we
I
should
think they
we
have to.
should offer a class here for our employees.
What kind of class?
CPR first aid.
Oh.
Like my mom's building, it's optional. You pay for it, but every like however long like it takes for them to expire, they offer a class through her work.
Send it to me. Delegating effectively. Who here delegates something to their rep?
I don't feel comfortable doing that.
What
Not
do you
just
mean?
yet.
What does that mean?
Delegate means you're giving them a task, something that you do on a daily basis, you've now passed it on to somebody else. Like I delegate 40% of my work to Javier. Because he needs to be developed. You need to be developed. I'm not giving you anything until you're ready.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
I thought about yesterday getting Alexis's Greenway and giving it to one of them three.
there you go. They have to have other duties to make them feel like they are a part of something.
I have my eyes on Priscilla just because I see that she's very professional. She cares
She's
about what she
eager
does.
to learn.
She is.
I see.
And I think she will be a very good one to start delegating with.
Okay.
But just not just now.
Not just yet,
Just
yeah,
give it
but
like
you've got your
another
eye
month.
on her.
Yeah.
And really work with her, spend the most time with her, you know?
I always get.
You have
we
Shannon.
know Shannon's
Yeah.
your favorite. Well,
Who is
actually,
yours?
No, mine really might be Caroline.
Might be.
I haven't.
You could have two, you're allowed to have two.
Yeah.
I mean, you have
Like,
two,
yeah, Alexis and I think with Sharika, definitely. She has a lot of knowledge.
and she has a lot of maturity.
And
Mhm.
maturity. That's the only thing about
So you're gonna have to get to
Alexis.
know them,
Mhm.
yeah.
I feel
But,
like having a small team makes it like today, Caroline brought everybody a soda on our team.
Oh.
oh, that's
Like,
Yeah.
she's
See, that's like, you are creating that. That did not come from her. Even though it was her idea, that sense of team came
Yes.
from you. So she's leading by example. You bring them things, you fight for them, you come to me and say, they deserve pizza. I ran this competition, I have to buy them pizza. What do I do? You know, those are the kind of things. When I send you guys emails and I say, I literally forward you the complaint and I say, communicate this to your team, I'm delegating. I am delegating this task to you to tell your reps. Because they shouldn't hear information from me. They're not my direct reports anymore. They should hear it from you. So I delegate that to you.
I printed off your email today and gave them each a little slip.
Yep. Yeah. Information is power, and if they don't have the information, they will fail. Orienting new team members. So we are lacking at that a little bit, but we're all new, and this company's new, and we're getting there. I think we're in a good place. Can it get better? Of course. You know, next time we have a group that we're bringing in, it won't be so big. We're gonna limit it to 10. But like, what are some of the things that you guys see that, you know, especially Melinda, she came in with that big group. What are some of the things that you could see us working on that is obtainable? You know, that would have made your transition easier, that would have made you feel more confident, maybe more ready, to do the things that we're asking you to do. So think about those things.
I think for training, I know my Rika's the trainer and that's awesome. She does great. But I think a day or two with whoever your team lead is gonna be in training with them, not like on the floor because they have distractions. I think one-on-one, or if you got 3 people coming into your team.
You know what would be really good is if you guys all came in here and broke up into groups in this room and then did an activity with your team. I think that's a great idea.
I think that should be part of their training schedule. Like you get, even if we got a half a day.
Yeah.
To try, just before they're like, oh, here's your team lead. Even to get to know them. To really, like that first impression is gonna make or break half of the time.
Yeah.
Like you getting to know your reps and setting your expectations so they know when they come on the floor. They don't feel like they're automatically failing. I think that should be implemented into our training.
And then they start off feeling comfortable enough
Yeah.
to get the information
And
that they need.
I feel like that will settle a lot of everybody going to my Rika about things. Like we want them to come to us. We want them to feel comfortable with us. And I feel like because she gets all of this time with them, before they come to us, they're like, okay, they feel comfortable with her. They want to go to her about it.
They're the one they know.
Yeah, so I feel like if we're included in that training, they're gonna be under us eventually. So breaking that bond, not bond, but like breaking that, they'll be more apt to come to us about things. We'll be more aware of different things.
Yeah.
Let's see, what's the last one? Encouraging learning and development. That's really you guys taking them off the floor and training them. Getting them to come in here, continuing their education, continuing their knowledge, their confidence. They're not going to get that if we don't have the materials to teach them.
I think once, go ahead, go.
Oh.
No, go.
Okay. When it comes to training and development, we had a website so they can learn Word, Excel, Outlook, which is something that I want to do. Give them some kind of tutorial that they can read on their own.
They don't have Excel, do they?
Yeah,
They
all
shouldn't.
They all do. It's Microsoft Office Online. They don't know how to access it, but they have it.
No, they've been blocked
Since when?
last week.
Why is it blocked?
So the company is only giving Excel and Word, PowerPoint, all of those Office credentials to managers.
Not even the online version?
I don't know. All
Because I
know,
understand they don't
we
want to
have pay
download
for it.
them.
For each person who has Microsoft Office, you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
So they took it away from anybody that was not in a salary position.
That's why I had to get approval to get it.
And mine still, I have to figure this out, and I was gonna talk to you after this. I'm sending my freaking end of day, and it's not showing up in my sent messages.
Yeah, it's not getting sent to me.
I don't know. I don't know.
Have you looked at it?
No, I don't know. Too.
Okay. we'll
So you're
look at it.
sending an email and it's
And
not
it's
being
not
sent?
going through. No, it pops up like it has a flashing icon down here. When I go to my page, I go to share, email, and then it flashes down here, and I click on that icon. It pops up on like an online version of or something. I type in your name, or I have to type in Kayla England, whatever, Urology Georgia, whatever. And then it just pops something up, I click yes, and then I type in Dayna's name, and I click send, and then I go to my Outlook on my tab, and then I go to my sent, and it's not there.
Yeah, I
Is
gotta
it-
check
does
your
it say
settings.
failed?
No,
Yeah.
it
What
says
check your
it's sent.
settings?
And then it exits. After I send it, it exits.
Maybe you're telling Outlook to automatically delete sent emails?
But no, I have everything else I've sent.
We'll look at it.
I noticed it today when
I'm sorry, I
going
was
to-
using your Broadworks.
Oh.
I don't know if I messed something up.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any feedback? Do you agree with everything? How do you think this went?
Great.
That's really
It's
helpful,
great.
very
I
helpful.
really love the schedule. I
Okay.
think that's in the huddle on the floor. I think as they see us, working to make things better
Mhm.
and also, as you said, working together.
Mhm.
That's really the example that we
We
want to
need to give that, yeah.
I feel like once a month what I'm gonna do for my trainings is have a rep give me what they want. What do you want me to talk about? Find a topic that you want me to coach you guys on. So that gives them time to, or like that one rep to look into things. Like
Mhm.
what, like, is it team building? What do you want me to talk about so you can research it and then I can research it?
So you could give them like team
That'd be like
member
a task.
feedback, first 15 minutes, and the last 15 minutes, run something that they are failing at, or that they need help with, or, something along those lines. I think that's a great idea. That gets them engaged, that gets them involved. They feel like they have a voice. It's a great idea. And same with you guys. We are going to start doing trainings every week because you need it.
Can we delegate training eventually if someone says, I love
Absolutely.
training?
Yeah.
I love PowerPoint. Why
Cap,
don't you
you're
create
a
it?
training captain.
Javier,
I
No,
love
no.
captains.
I
Because
like doing trainings.
when you have when you're a rep and your leader is like, I recognize something in you. I'm gonna make you a captain of something, and you're responsible for this
Like the
thing.
birthday things.
Who's in charge of that?
Juliana.
It's Juliana, okay.
Yeah.
That was one of the first tasks I'll never forget. We had a sale every quarter called Friends and Family. And my boss said, Dayna, you know what? You're just really good at projects. Can you be the Friends and Family captain? Absolutely. So it was my job to make sure that I ran a competition with all the managers, that I sent out flyers to them explaining what the competition was. I had to send them their goals individually. I had a lot of stuff to do. I had to track their activity throughout the day. So they had to give me a 2 p.m. Update and a 6 p.m. update. And then from 6 to 8, what are you going to do to bring in traffic for the rest of the week? You know, so I had to bring all that information and bring it to my boss.
What happened with the newsletters?
I was told I could no longer do them.
I liked those.
Yeah.
Like once a week, like a Friday.
And it keeps everybody in the loop, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of-
Like new
They-
providers, what's going on, even
Yeah.
around us.
Well, let me tell you why they took it away from me, because the company liked the idea so much that they're going to do it now. So they're going to do a company-wide newsletter.
Oh, wow.
So we could do a newsletter, we
Per
can't
team?
call it a newsletter.
We can do one per team.
You can do it per
Yeah,
team.
that's what I'm saying. Like if we
Just
send out a
don't
little
spend
flyer.
a lot of time on something like that. Like, you know, make sure that it's 15 minutes. It's not taking you 2 hours to create a flyer.
Oh no, I'm just thinking like a kind of like a restaurant placement.
That's how long it would take me to complete that newsletter. It was almost 2 hours.
Yeah, no, I just want something kind of like a placemat where I'll have like a little word search over here, like activity, and then like a true and false, like just
That's engaging your team. Do what you want. Just don't call it a
Like-
newsletter and don't send it to George.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's our team.
Yeah.
I want to do something like, for example, Valencia, you're in charge of the newsletter this week. Find someone, interview that person on your break, on your lunchtime, whenever. You have a whole week to talk to this person. Guess something positive about this person, hobbies, what do you like, what kind of music do you listen to, talk about your family and whatever, and that will be your newsletter. Let's get to know each other.
So you want them to kind of,
Be a
Run their
reporter
own
or something,
newsletter,
and then
right?
they will create a newsletter, and it will be like made by Valencia Green, and we'll get to know everybody in the team.
Whatever you want to
It's
do.
something that I
I
want.
approve.
You know what I mean? But yeah, but not to send it to George or nothing
Yeah,
like that. It's just
yeah,
a
no,
team.
I don't want that. I just
It's
want.
a
I mean,
team.
I want to
something
see it
little.
too. I want to be involved, but don't send it to Lindsay. Don't send it to George or any of them because it's just, we already told you about, you know, if it's something that you're doing within your team, that's great. Just make sure it doesn't say newsletter. Make sure it doesn't look like a newsletter. Make it your own creation. But, you know, whatever you guys need to do to create fun and joy, like I want you to do that. You don't have to ask me. As long as you know it's appropriate and it's, you know, fitting for work, like I'm game on. I'm on board. You don't have
Something
to
that
ask me.
teams love is visuals. Like if we have a competition going on and
Like I loved your Jeopardy. Like I think you should do that at least once a month.
they were on it.
Yeah,
It's
you
just
can share
that-
info with me.
Yeah, it's just PowerPoint. It just takes time. It takes a long time. I mean, I was there up until like 2 in the morning. I was like, oh my God. You know, like for example, if we do Monopoly, or if we do a QA competition, they need to see some kind of progression visually, not just via email or Teams, but like let me go in that room and let me see where my team stands. And then we can have like a little card, you know, cartwheels, whatever. We can say, this is your team, this is my team, we're almost winning. People like that. They like to see that.
We do this point system and making Sean make like a Planko board. And if they want extra
What's
points.
that?
Planko.
The Planko thing?
It's like where like you can drop like a little like a
Yeah.
whatever and it goes down and you can
The
either
Price is
zero,
Right,
the
that's what I
Price
seen
is
it.
right, like 0, 500.
Yeah, they drop
and
some-
they can get extra points.
I don't think I've ever seen it before. I never watched The Price is Right. So
That used to be my jam when I
But you
stayed
know
home
what
from
it is.
school. It
I've-
was
I
Jerry
know I've-
Springer
I've-
and
but
Price
I-
is Right.
but
That
I
was my
never
go-to.
Price is Right, yeah. I was like, he does 25,000. Oh my God. They never did.
watched it. Let me see here.
Like I really, really wanted to do, you know, decorations, a team decoration. But
Yeah.
I was told that we cannot. Like for example, you know, based
Blanco
on
challenge.
something, we're gonna decorate based on this event. Whoever has the best decoration wins.
Like 4th of July.
Yeah.
I don't know if that still stands. That they don't want it. They don't want decorations.
I think
Or
it's called
Halloween.
proposal. PRO?
Yeah.
Proposal.
I think we need to come up with like later on today or this week or tomorrow, like as team leads, like a spirit week. Like I think they would
Okay.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm gonna talk to, that's what I was just telling Lindsay. So I'll talk to her about the Spirit Week and about decorating
Cute.
their
Like for example, decorate your team where we can see team spirit.
Yes.
How, I want to see your desk talk to me. What does it mean to have team spirit?
Like
What can you show
theme.
me?
Yeah, like, they can, I guess, you know, you can have them decide, like, what kind of themes do we wanna go with?
So team
The team will decide.
Yeah.
I mean, they want to do it, and they will talk, and they will get to know each other, and like, you'll
Come
see,
in
how,
here.
you'll see how competitive that can get.
Yeah.
People are like, whoa.
Hey.
Two short people. Yeah.
Javier, I have a question. Janet, she had a patient, a Spanish patient, and she was scheduling him for, he needed a scrotal at one time and then a follow-up at another time, but they never, I guess the person that scheduled it first, they only scheduled the follow-up, they never rescheduled the ultrasound. So when she rescheduled the appointment, she only scheduled the, like, follow-up
The
appointment,
follow-up.
not the ultrasound. The only time for that day, this will be the third time that you have to call him back because of this issue. So the only time that day will be at 3:30, but his appointment, follow-up appointment is at 4:30.
Well, I was told by Jennifer Lane that that would be a very extreme situation, that we can do it, but the patient needs to be, they need to agree.
So she can do that.
You
They
can
just
do
have
it,
to wait a
yeah, but you
30
need to
minutes
ask the
before
patient.
Yeah. And they might even be able to get him in early, or he'll probably make.
I missed that one.
He-
I missed the
this
question.
is
What
what
was
it
it?
is.
And if they agree, you need to know that the
Because the
patients
ultrasound
did
would
agree.
be 3:30, and then the appointment, the
Before.
follow-up instead of
It'll
4 would be
it'll
4:30.
It'll be 30 minutes that you have to wait.
Yeah, if they're okay with it.
Yeah,
we're
they're
okay
okay.
with it. You
Just
have to
notate it
notate
real
that
quick.
in the chart.
Okay, cause she,
Yeah, yeah.
I just didn't wanna.
No, you're good.
And then she get in trouble cause she's scheduled.
No, it's good.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you for asking.
Let's be real, we'll probably wait that 30 minutes anyway.
So everything that we talked about, you know, all your ideas and things that you guys wanna do with your teams and stuff, develop it and then send it to me.
Okay.
It's really easy, you know, I'm sorry, it's not very easy for me to go to Lindsay and be like, hey, I wanna do this and this and this and this and this, fire away, and she's like, bless you, you know, well, can you put it in an email so that way I can read it, what is it all about, tell me this detail, tell me that detail, and then I have no details, I don't know, Kayla just wants to do this thing, and, you know, develop some details around it, you know, give me some substance that I can go to her and say, hey, this is what my team wants to do.
And this is
I,
why.
yeah, this is gonna create team, you know,
Have a why
unity
for
and-
everything.
Yeah, camaraderie. It's also a really good thing for you guys to spend that hour, half hour, 15 minutes together every day, and get to know each other. Because when you guys take the day off or go on vacation, who's gonna take over your team? One of you, you know?
Well, thank you for going on vacation.
I know, I'm so
And
sorry.
I'm always staying.
I know, we needed to have a moment with him earlier, that he really needs to take vacation,
I know.
and he's just gotta do it.
Yeah, you do have to take vacation by December. I don't
I
know,
just-
I don't know that you get like your PT, do you get?
No,
your
you do get 40 hours rolled over.
That's nice.
But like, and we told him, just give me your debit card, I'll plan your vacation for you, and be like, here's your tickets, you're going.
I just need
He
to
does not
vanish.
work like that.
We're sending you to the beach.
Yeah, you
very
gotta go
soon,
somewhere.
Very, very soon. You're gonna be in Panama City.
Karina, I know you're just getting in here, but, we were earlier, obviously, we're talking about all this, but we're also talking about like your daily routines and how that looks. Lindsay and I have been talking for, gosh, probably the past 4 or 5 weeks about what does your availability look like? How much time should you be on the phones? How many hours per week should each team lead be on the phones? And I think right now what will help the teams, especially with scheduling, is seeing your presence on the schedule. So right now I'm looking at 60%, bless you.
I'm sorry.
Are you sick?
I hope not.
Okay.
Yeah, you better hope not, I'm not getting sick, I'll kick you to the back.
I'm sorry.
Um,
My eyes are so watery. Oh my god.
Maybe it's just allergies.
Probably. Hopefully.
So I figured out in a 45-hour work week, that's including 5 hours for your breaks, 8 hours per week coaching on the floor, 5 hours for training and our huddles. With all of that, that gives you 27 hours in the queue per week, approximately. And since we are going to be doing huddles on the floor instead of in the office, that's gonna really decrease the amount of time we're spending talking, yeah. And I think what we can do, when you guys, so basically what we have here, Karina, is if we were to determine you worked an 8 to 5 schedule, okay? From 8 to 8:30, you're doing temperature checks with your team. So obviously you're not gonna start doing your temperature checks until you walk in the door, and then you have to wait until 11 o'clock to do them again. But you're gonna walk up as soon as your reps come in. How was your night? How are you this morning? What's going on? How are you feeling? What can I do for you? Everything okay? Good, great, go to the next rep, right? That's when you're gonna find out, I don't feel good. My kid's sick, I might have to leave early. My mom's sick, I might have to leave. You know, you're gonna find these things out about your reps right off the get-go, and then you can start kind of planning your day. From 8:30 to 8:45, we're gonna do a huddle. So you'll miss the morning huddle.